The first rule of deep space recovery was simple. If something looks alive, don't touch it. Armin Hale broke that rule within 30 seconds. Tell me you didn't just poke that. Kira's voice crackled over the comms. Armin glanced down at the strange, coiled organism embedded in the wreckage. It looked like a fossil at first, translucent, curled into itself, faintly glowing beneath layers of dust and shattered alloy. It didn't react, he said. Probably dead. Probably is not reassuring. Armin shrugged, crouching lower. We've seen worse. That part was true. The salvage ship Orion's Wake specialized in recovering lost technology from derelict vessels drifting at the edge of mapped space. Most of what they found was junk. But this wreck was different. It wasn't human. It wasn't even mechanical. The entire structure felt organic. The walls curved like bone, the surfaces faintly pulsing as if something deep inside still lived. And that thing Armin had just touched? It definitely wasn't metal. Bag it and move on, Kira said. We're not here to adopt alien pets. Armin smirked. Relax. I'm just taking a sample. He reached out again. That's when it moved. The organism uncoiled in an instant. Armin barely had time to react before it snapped forward. Fast, precise, deliberate. A sharp pain shot through his hand. Armin, Kira shouted. He stumbled back, grabbing his wrist as the creature detached and fell to the ground, curling back into itself as if nothing had happened. What the hell was that? Kira demanded. I don't, Armin winced. It bit me. Get back to the ship. Now. He didn't argue, because something about that bite didn't feel normal. By the time he reached the airlock, the pain had faded. Too quickly. That alone should have been a warning. Kira was waiting for him inside, arms crossed, expression tight with concern. Let me see it. Armin held out his hand. There was no wound. No blood. Not even a mark. Kira frowned. You said it bit you. It did. That's impossible. I'm telling you it. He stopped. Because suddenly he felt it. A pulse. Not external. Internal. Like something inside him had just awakened. Armin, Kira said. He looked up at her. And for a brief moment, everything changed. He could hear her heartbeat. See the subtle shifts in her posture. The micro-expressions on her face. Smell the recycled air and something beneath it. Something sharper. More defined. What's wrong? She asked. He blinked. And it was gone. I don't know, he said quietly. But deep down, he knew that bite had done something. The changes didn't happen all at once. At first, they were subtle. Armin noticed his reflexes improving, his strength increasing, his senses sharpening in ways that didn't make sense. He could navigate dark corridors without light, hear conversations through walls, react to movement before it happened. Kira noticed too. This isn't normal, she said one night, watching him effortlessly lift a piece of equipment that should have required 2 people. Maybe it's adrenaline, he suggested. For 3 days straight? Okay, fair point. She stepped closer, studying him. That thing changed you. Armin didn't deny it. Yeah, he said. I think it did. The real question was, how much? The answer came sooner than expected. The distress signal arrived without warning. A burst transmission, short, encrypted, and unmistakably alien. Kira pulled it up on the console. It's coming from the wreck we left behind. Armin felt something stir inside him. Not curiosity. Recognition. We need to go back, he said. Kira stared at him. Are you serious? That thing, it wasn't just some random organism. And you know that how? I just do. She hesitated, then sighed. This is a terrible idea. Probably. But we're going anyway, aren't we? He smiled slightly. Yeah. The wreck had changed. It wasn't silent anymore. As they approached, the structure pulsed with faint light, like a heartbeat echoing through the void. That wasn't happening before, Kira said. No, Armin agreed. He felt it again. That pull. Stronger now. Like something inside the wreck was calling to him. Waiting. They docked carefully. This time, they went in together. The corridors felt different, alive in a way they hadn't before. The walls seemed to respond to Armin's presence, faint ripples spreading outward as he walked. Kira noticed it too. Tell me you're seeing this. I am. That's not good. They moved deeper into the structure, toward the source of the signal, toward the center. The chamber they entered was massive, and filled with them. Dozens, no, hundreds of the same organisms Armin had encountered before. But these weren't dormant. They were moving, shifting, watching. Kira froze. Okay, I officially hate this. Armin stepped forward, and the room went still. Every single creature turned toward him, not aggressively, not fearfully, but attentively. What's happening? Kira whispered. Armin didn't answer, because he felt it. A connection. Deep. Instinctive. Primal. They weren't seeing him as a threat. They were seeing him as something else. Something familiar. One of them approached, larger than the rest. It moved slowly, deliberately, stopping just a few feet away from Armin. Kira raised her weapon. If that thing gets any closer. It won't, Armin said. How do you know? He didn't, but he trusted the feeling. The creature extended part of itself, like a tendril, glowing faintly. Armin hesitated, then reached out. Kira groaned. You really need to stop touching alien things. But it was too late. The moment they connected, Armin's mind exploded with sensation. Images, memories, instincts. He saw their world, a harsh, unforgiving environment where survival depended on strength, unity, and hierarchy. He felt their structure, their order, their identity. They weren't individuals. They were a clan. And at the center of that clan was an alpha, a leader, a guide, a protector. Armin gasped as the connection deepened. They're not just animals, he said. They're organized. Organized how? Kira asked. He looked at her. They're a species. The realization hit hard. This wasn't a derelict ship. It was a vessel, a living one. And these creatures weren't passengers. They were its crew, its inhabitants. What happened to them? Kira asked. Armin focused. More images flooded his mind. War. Destruction. Their world gone. This ship was all that remained. A fragment of their species. Drifting through space. Waiting. For what? Kira pressed. Armin swallowed. For a new alpha. The creature in front of him pulsed with light. The others followed. The entire chamber glowing in unison. They think that's you, Kira said. I know. Tell me you're not actually considering this. Armin looked at the creatures, at the remnants of a lost species, at the connection they offered. They're not asking, he said quietly. They're choosing. The bond strengthened. The bite. It hadn't been an attack. It had been a test, a transfer, a way to determine compatibility. And Armin had passed. You're changing again, Kira said. I can feel it. What does that mean? He looked at his hands, at the faint glow beneath his skin. It means I'm not just human anymore. Kira's expression hardened. Then what are you? Armin met her gaze. They're alpha. The creatures moved closer. Not threatening, not aggressive, but united, awaiting his command. What are you going to do? Kira asked. Armin hesitated, because this was the moment, the choice that would define everything. They need a future, he said. And you think that's you? I think I'm the only one they have. Kira shook her head. You're talking about leaving. About becoming something else entirely. Maybe. And what about your life? Your crew? He looked at her. I'm still me. For how long? He didn't have an answer. The connection pulsed again. Stronger. Urgent. They're ready to move, he said. Move where? Anywhere. The ship around them began to hum. Systems awakening. Power returning. They're waiting for a command, Armin said. Kira stepped back. This is insane. Yeah, he agreed. But it's happening. Ending. Armin stood at the center of the chamber, surrounded by the last of an alien species, connected to them in ways no human had ever experienced. He could feel their trust, their expectation, their need, and he understood the truth. This wasn't about control. It was about responsibility. They lost everything, he said quietly. Kira nodded. I know. And now they're starting over. With you. He took a deep breath, then gave the command. The ship came alive. Lights surged. The massive structure shifted, breaking free from its long silence. Where are we going? Kira asked. Armin looked out into the stars. Somewhere new, he said. Somewhere they can survive. Kira studied him. You're really doing this? He nodded. I don't have a choice. She sighed. Then I guess you're not going alone. He smiled faintly. Wouldn't have it any other way. As the ship turned and disappeared into the vast unknown, one truth became clear. Armin Hale was no longer just a scavenger. No longer just human. He was something more. Chosen. Changed. And bound to a species that now followed his every instinct. Because one bite hadn't just changed him. It had given an entire civilization a future. And in the silent depths of space, a new alpha had risen.